there is one hadith that is very fascinating, and it is an authentic hadith. Our Prophet ﷺ said, Al-jinnu thalatha. Jinns are of three types.
One type, lahum ajniha, yatiruna fil hawa. One type, they have wings and they fly and they roam around in the air.
They are flying around in the skies. They're living their lives and they're going by.
The other type, they are hayat.
There's a category of jinn that typically appears in the form of animals. And two animals in particular the jinns love to appear in. But sometimes there are other animals. And the two main animals that the jinns love to appear in are snakes and dogs. But this does not mean that they never appear in another form. They could have other forms as well. The third type of jinn is they come and they go. This is the one that seems to want to irritate us, want to frighten us, want to come into our lives.
First of all, the question comes, are these three types the only three types of jinn? Some of the scholars say that the Quran and the Sunnah mention more than these. So these are an example of three types of jinn. So notice one flies through the air. The implication is that one flies through the air and the other one doesn't fly through the air.
Some of them are good and some of them are bad. The good jinns are called jinns and the bad jinns are called shayateen.
The jinn are all different. They have different abilities, different characteristics, they do different things, they like different things, they dislike different things.
And there are different categories of shayateen. There's a shaitan, al-marid, and there's the afrit. As there's criminals, let us say, some of them are oppressors, some of them are transgressors, some of them are disbelievers. Also the shayateen, there are ranks, depending on their disbelief, depending on their power. And every type of them have different ability and different strength. Just like you, my dear brothers and sisters. Some of you can lift 20 kilos and some of you can lift 200 kilos. Some of you are intelligent and some of you are not as intelligent. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that the jinn say, وَمِنَّا الصَّالِحُونَ وَمِنَّا دُونَ ذَلِكَ. Some of us are righteous and some of us are not. وَكُنَّا طَرَائِقَ قِدَدًا. And many of us have different ways and different ideologies and different thinking. Some of them, the jinns, are Muslims. Some of them are disbelievers. Some of them are Jews, Christians, Buddhists, atheists, monks, everything. The same as human beings.
The jinn have a very unique power, which is truly bizarre, and physicists who are Muslims should really marvel at this, and that is the power to transform matter into energy and back into matter again. And that's something that we are trying to figure out how to do. E equals mc squared. Energy and matter are related, we know this. And the jinn have the power to do this. How do we know this? The throne of Bilqis, or the queen of Sheba, the throne that from Yemen to Jerusalem, قال عفريت من الجن. Now jinns, we talked about this in the last class, there are many levels, and ifrit are the most evil and the most powerful. Ifrit are what Western literature calls demons of the jinn. These are the worst of the worst. So the ifrit said, I can bring you the throne before you even stand up. Which makes total sense, physically speaking, from physics I mean. So we need to put things into perspective, that the jinns are not all of them so powerful. The fact that one only said that he can do this clearly shows what? That the rest are not qualified to do it. And it is well known that this throne is going to be inside the palace, that if he were to take the throne, it would not be flying in the air. People are not going to see it flying. Rather, it would disappear there and appear in front of Sulaiman, which means what? Somehow, the jinn have the power to take matter, transform it to energy, take it all the way back and then reproduce it. And by the way, this is something that is well known, mutawatir, from the stories of what's happening and whatnot, that it is possible for a magician to just produce an item that was lost, literally, and he goes, here it is, right? Or looking into crystal balls and whatnot that we see, that you see things in there, and these are the jinns that you see playing around and whatnot. So all of this, it is possible, and we know this from our own experiences in humanity. Whatever the jinn does is something we now understand is physical and natural for the jinn. For the jinn, not for us, for the jinn. We understand then what sihr is, and that's the jinn doing its tricks. The question therefore is, why would the jinn do it? The jinn doesn't need your American Express, doesn't need your cash, doesn't need your credit. What does the jinn need? Doesn't even need your food. What does it need?
The magician cannot practice magic without committing shirk, without committing disbelief, without becoming one of the strongest and most evil disbelievers of the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.